Please welcome your host from random corners of the world, making his way through the jungle of online businesses to $10 million. Anatoly Spector.
Wow, this intro
Nice
always
intro.
like I know, man. I usually don't hear it because my editor said it in, but then when I listen to on live ones, I'm like, wow, that somebody did a great job. Hey guys, whoever is watching, listening, welcome. We're on 10 million journey. We're doing live today because we're talking about hot topic of cryptos, NFT, and I have an amazing guest for you. His name is Berwin Tanco. He's the CEO of Ekta, and Ekta, they are the building the Google of crypto, Google, Amazon of crypto, whatever you call it. We're going to talk more about what they do exactly. So I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just going to tell you that we are going to talk about crypto investing, NFTs, and actually Baron has an amazing story himself. So I'm just going to stop here and say welcome.
Hi, thanks,
How you doing,
Anat.
man?
Thanks for having me. Good to see you
Yeah.
again. I haven't seen you in ages.
Yeah, we should catch up definitely. We're in Bali, but we're in different. I'm in studio, Baron's at home, but we're still making it happen for you guys. If you have any questions, also you can post on Facebooks and YouTubes or whatever you're doing it. We'll try to answer some of them if I see them. So please feel free. But let's start with your backstory. I think for me it's important because you're a serial entrepreneur, very successful one. So for me it's important to find patterns. What led you to who you are? I know you were born in Philippines, so tell me a little bit about it. How was growing up in Philippines?
Yeah, Philippines was really tough times growing up back in the 70s and the 80s. So I was born in mid 70s. We had a dictator there called Ferdinand Marcos. We had basically not a very good life there unless you're close to the dictator because we had martial law at that time, and it was very hard to find, like you go to the supermarket in America, you have like so many kinds of products you can choose from. We didn't have that, and we didn't, like in the 80s when the dictatorship fell and we had a new president. Like we were having 8 hours of rolling blackouts, 8 hours of no water a day, and it was just really hard. I didn't see a future there. So my way out of that country was at that time was swimming. So I was in the Philippine national swimming team, and I was able to get a scholarship to America. So I went to boarding school in America for high school, and I represented the country whenever there was like Asian Games, Southeast Asian Games, Olympics, stuff like that. So, and then the rest of the time I was in the U.S. competing for my school, and then I was able to get a scholarship to go to college there as well. So yeah, I mean, I left the Philippines late 80s, early 90s, and then I've been living abroad since. So from the US, I moved to Spain, and then moved to China, and now I live in Bali.
Beautiful. And when did you realize you want to be an entrepreneur? Like, what led you to this?
I'm always very entrepreneurial because my entire family are entrepreneurs. They love starting businesses, and I also like to do business more than to work for someone else. And so I always have these ideas. Like the way I look at things is there's always a problem that you can fix, and then you just need to find that problem, and then you have a solution for it, and then you offer that solution to the people, and you can charge money for it. And so that's basically the story of my life ever since I was 19. I started becoming an entrepreneur when I was 19. Started in
Wow.
software.
And then you somehow got into the property development, right? So
Yeah.
why property development? Like, why did you decide to choose that?
Fortunately, when I was in my late teens and early 20s, I was able to cash out on my software business, listed in the stock market, and then I used those funds to, pursue the things that I like doing, which is design, interior design, and architecture. So I went into the property business because of that, because I thought, wow, I can purchase a plot of land and then design my own home and then start building and then doing that again and again. And then every time I do it, it's a different design and a different theme. And actually, it's also quite safe to invest in property.
Yeah.
Normally property prices appreciate every year, and it's an inflation fighter. So yeah, I was doing property for 20 years, and
Beautiful.
yeah, property investments, property funds, yeah, everything to do with property, hospitality.
Wow. So from being a software entrepreneur, cashing out in your teens, to being a property developer, to then moving into building a crypto empire. So when was the first time you heard about crypto? Like, tell me about it.
To tell you honestly, Ekta was born during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, I was living in Bali. I still am living in Bali, and all the tourists disappeared. Right, the border shut in around March 2020, and I was left with hotels and villas and developments that with no tourists. So I had to kind of like rethink my business and pivot to something else. And I fortunately in Bali, not everyone left. Like a lot of entrepreneurs stayed, digital nomads, and people in the blockchain. So I started meeting people, talking about my business and how to pivot it. And they said, "Oh, you should tokenize your properties." Because
Yep.
you can do that in the blockchain. You can, and then I started studying about the blockchain really full, maybe last year only, like February last year. I did the total immersion, like 3 months, like reading 200 white papers, studying other chains, and yeah. So by May last year, we were ready to launch Ekta, because I found during this study is this blockchain and crypto can solve a lot of problems in the world. So we created this business not just to tokenize property. We created this business to help solve the lack of access of funds for entrepreneurs. Here in Indonesia, people don't have pension funds. They really have a hard time doing a payday loan. The the environment, for example, there's a lot of deforestation and a lot of pollution in the oceans. And so I created this chain where I bridge the blockchain to the physical world. And by doing so, we help improve people's lives and the environment with it. So yeah, so we launched just we have a new chain. We just launched about a month ago, and we're listed in Sushi Swap about 6 weeks ago. Next week we have a very exciting week coming up. Next week and the week after, we're listing in some centralized exchanges. We have a huge, amazing launch with the U.S. military veterans for our NFT marketplace on February 21, which goes to helping improving veterans' lives as well. And then, yeah, there's other things like we have play to earn that helps improve, Indonesians. They can play these games and they can earn maybe $300-400 a month extra, which is almost double their salary. So that's another way of improving their lives. We have another NFT-based DeFi game that involves purchasing and planting trees in the metaverse, but it
Yep.
actually you actually plant trees in the real world as well, and you offset carbon credits and you preserve forests. So yeah, so lots of exciting things coming up.
Amazing. Well, let's. I guess not everyone who is listening knows what any of this means. So let's. We start slow and then go to more advanced. I was reading and I'm dabbling into NFTs and crypto for a while, and I'm a software developer by trade, so I understand what it means. But many people who are listening, they have no idea. So, what does it mean to put something on a chain? Let's start with that. For somebody who has
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, so basically a chain is we call it Web 3.0. So we had Web 1.0 during the dot-com boom in the 90s. And then eventually when the dot-com faded, or it became mainstream, we started with Web 2.0, like Facebook and Instagram. And now it's Web 3.0. So on the chain, basically they're called blocks. So they come in form of blocks, and instead of, back in the days we have servers, we use nodes, and these nodes can be spread all over the world, meaning that if you take down one node, or one node in your chain, it's still running. So the beauty about this is it's decentralized, it's immutable, because you can't go in and change that information in that block, because the other node validators will find out and then flag you. It's transparent, and it's fast, and it's borderless, and basically you can embed a coin onto the chain as well. So you can you can do things like launch an ecosystem, and you have a utility for the coin where you can pay for things like network fees, you can mint NFTs, you can use it to reward people, you can use it for staking, and you can use it for decentralized finance, so you can earn more, like a higher percent yield than what you can get in the bank. So yeah, so there's a lot of applications. It's great for education, for voting, for hospitals, anything that has to do with supply chain also is good, because you can see all the information there.
So again, stepping just a little bit back, how would that solve problems that we could not solve now? So what are the problems, and what are the use cases that we have right now that we could not be able to solve, but here with a crypto and blockchain and NFTs we can solve? Just like some
Well,
couple examples.
a really, really good example is there's a lot of countries with very inefficient governments, and poor infrastructure, and terrible monetary system. For example, what country is that? El Salvador. So their currency was not doing well. It was in shambles. And so because of Bitcoin, which is a store of value, and it's a good monetary policy, because they have a limited supply, which is 21 million tokens. You'll never have more of that. So it's a good way to fight inflation. So that's one. Another thing is, like, there's other countries now starting to study, like Turkey, and I don't know, Venezuela, and all these countries where they have hyperinflation, like their currency is worth nothing. So they're looking into implementing USDT, a stable coin, instead, so that people basically they have a wallet of like cash this thick, but you can't even buy toilet paper with it, for example. So that's another way to do things. What else? Property, for example. So a lot of people want to invest in property, and it's expensive to purchase property. If you want to buy a house nowadays, let's say in Bali, it costs about $500,000 to $1 million. And then some people just want it for investment and rental return. So instead of like spending $500,000 on it, you can buy pieces of it for, let's say, $200, $300, and then you can start your first property investment already and have monthly rental returns for it.
So essentially, it provides like accounting information that is available to everyone who want to take a look. So it's very hard to cheat the system, because everything is available to everyone.
Yeah, also you get to control your finances yourself. So you actually learn about what is money, and what is this, a store of value. This can be used to purchase things. You get to understand, okay, if I have this, you get to understand what banks are doing with the money. And so you are your own bank as well. So yeah, it's great. This is the way forward. A lot of people are starting to, go into DeFi and then realize that, wow, I can be my own bank.
Can you then say what is DeFi for people who are new here?
DeFi is it's called decentralized finance. So decentralized finance is centralized finance is like banking, or stock brokeraging and stuff like that, or purchasing a mutual fund. Basically, decentralized finance is it's like the idea of a cooperative. So everyone just pools their funds in one of these protocols, or basically, and then these funds can be used to lend. So when you lend, you actually earn interest from lending, and then the person borrowing also can use that money for something else. So this way, it's decentralized. You don't have to go to the bank, apply for a loan. You can actually just go to one of these protocols, and I guess we can say cooperatives, and they can help you out.
Beautiful. Yeah, it definitely saves. I mean, many countries you can't get a loan, or some people with like bad credits can't get a loan. But this solves it all because, well, it's very transparent, and if you really want to get it, it solves whole bunch of problems, which is
Mhm.
amazing. So, Ekta is, as you say yourself, I'm just quoting you, like Google or Amazon of crypto. So, what does that mean?
We want to be. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Yeah, no, I hope to be as big as Google or Amazon one day, and my vision to get there is not just grabbing the what's available out there. There's only probably around 400 million or 500 million wallets out there. So that's 5%, I don't know, 4 or 5% of the world's population, or a little bit
Yeah.
more. But so I'm targeting the physical world. So I'm bridging blockchain to the physical world. I'm targeting the other 8 billion population. So, I mean, if I can do that, I could be as big as Google or Amazon. So, for example, like our NFT marketplace, like a lot of NFT marketplace targets a lot of digital pixelated art, like just NFTs that are not asset backed. Most of our NFTs in our marketplace will have some sort of staking rewards, some sort of it's backed by assets, and there's a lot of applications for that. There's a lot of actually businesses building on our chain right now, to preparing to launch the next few months, and they're all real world businesses.
So you're giving sort of like a marketplace for other businesses to backed by real to launch their crypto NFTs, I guess, backed by real life assets. Is
Yeah.
at least that's how I get it.
Yeah, I can give you an example. There's one property developer here that already built a complex, famous complex here, and they have a club, a jungle club, that they want to basically issue members only cards. So basically, these membership cards are in the form of NFTs, and the funds that are used that they raise from these NFTs will go to purchasing 2 more properties to develop, and some, like a helicopter and a yacht, so that it can go between islands, because Indonesia has 17,500 islands. So developers here tend to develop not only in one island but in multiple islands. So transportation is also important. So that's just one use case.
Wow.
Yeah.
So essentially, many people don't understand what NFTs are. So I'm just gonna wing as I understand it. So essentially, like say pixelated art. I'm a traveler. I would like to own some of the Banksy or whatever, but since I travel around, it's impossible for me to carry a lot of art. So what my phone allows me to do is to buy some of the amazing art and then have it proof of stake that it's mine. But then I can have all in my wallet, like $1 million worth of
Yeah.
art, instead
Yeah.
of just having. But then this is only
Or
one use case. The other use
yeah.
case, as you're saying, is if I want to own piece of land, somebody's giving me NFT as a key to this and saying, well, I'm now owning 1% of this property
Correct.
development, and I'm getting
Yeah.
all the profits that you're
Yeah.
making. It
Yeah.
redistributed to all the people. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yes, correct. So actually, what is an NFT? An NFT stands for a non-fungible token. So a coin or a token that you can trade in the market, let's say in Binance, let's say, I don't know, Ethereum, or that's a fungible token, because that can be broken into many, many pieces. It's like basically, let's say I give you $100 and then you give me back 10 $10 bills. So that's fungible. A non-fungible token is, let's say, you're non-fungible. I can't break you into pieces. I can't sell your arm and then sell your leg
hopefully
somewhere
not?
else. Like, yeah. So that's what an NFT means. I also like calling NFT something else because, you know, NFT is basically forever, right? This is like recorded in the blockchain forever, and it shows it that it's an original piece, it's yours. So I call it never forget things because you'll never
Nice.
forget it. It's there forever.
Amazing. Yeah, that's beautiful. So, any other use cases you can think of NFTs that could solve, and NFTs particular, not talking about crypto, but NFTs that they can solve like big world problems, let's say.
Uh, education's really good for that. So you can NFT like educational materials, like, you know, video, books, publications, research paper, all of that, and you can basically sell them, download them. You can play to learn, so you can gamify the education process. And when you pay to learn, you also learn to earn. So every time you finish a course or part of the the class, you get rewarded with it. You get rewarded with an NFT or a token, and then these things have value, so you can just keep saving them up. For example, if you were a 10-year-old kid, you can play to learn and learn to earn, and then later, by the time you're 18, you have enough NFTs and tokens for your college fund, for example. So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Amazing. That's actually a really good use case. And for people who are, we're very early right now. I think there's about 1 million people having NFTs. So, and I think NFT market just skyrocketed in January. It was something like uh, many billions in the year before, but in January it's already over everything that was last year. So it's becoming
Yeah,
very, very trendy.
yeah,
But with that, there's a lot of scam and a lot of issues. So
yeah.
anything that people, since you're in the industry, anything that any advice you can give to people who are starting out to avoid those scams?
Yeah, unfortunately, with, you know, all things that are making money, there's also a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of bad actors, and I've got scammed myself a lot. So I think a few things you need to watch out is, for example, if you have a Telegram, and then you receive a direct message from someone saying, or a fake chat group of a community saying, "Oh, this is you know, you're whitelisted for this token drop, and if you send money to this wallet address, you're an early bird, and you can, you know, participate in the initial coin offering or initial DEX offering." Another scam is like, oh, a lot of scammers make fake community groups in
Yep.
Discord or in Telegram, and they'll say, click onto this website, and if you give me one token of, let's say, whatever, let's say Cardano, right? ADA. Okay, I give you you give me one ADA, and in 24 hours I'll give you four ADA. Those are all scams.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, a lot of them also say, click here to connect your wallet so that you can participate in our pre-sale. And then when you click here, they ask for your private keys. Never give your
Yeah,
private keys.
that's
That's a big
amazing.
no-no. Yeah.
I get scammed in a pretty bad way actually last week. So I always turn off all the direct messages, and I know that like there's a Discord servers where you sort of every community you get an NFT, usually go to Discord server and then look for official links, etc. So I'm all good, and then one day I'm in this NFT that I really wanted to mint, and then my wife, out of all the people, sending me the link and saying, look at that, they're minting now. And I usually, well, it's my wife, I'm like, well, maybe she knows something. So I go there and I'm like, it's weird that they're minting right now, but I'm like, okay. Usually there's a wait list because it's a huge project, and I'm like, no, it's fine. So I'm like, put like I don't know, $600 there, and then we mint, and I'm like, then I'm thinking of, well, it sounds right, it sounds wrong, and then yeah, I got
Yeah.
pretty much scammed.
Yeah, you
So
need to
you need
double
to be
check.
very careful.
Sometimes they give you a website that sounds like the same website.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
for example, in Ekta, where our website is ekta.io, ekta.io, and then people can scam and say, oh yeah, go to ekta.com. but that's not our
Yeah.
website, and then they scam you there.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I mean, we're very early in this. There is not a lot of legislation around it, and the people are just making lots of money by scamming other people. So that is pretty crazy for people who are starting out. And I think it's a very lucrative time right now. So people are making lots and lots of money, but others have no idea how they do it. So for somebody who's starting out and they're like, I want to try myself in NFTs, maybe make some cash. Oh, how can they start? Like, what should they do?
Uh, they can go to uh, they can go to various websites like what are they called? Uh, there's a bunch of tools out there where you can go. So normally, like you can go to OpenSea and you can see, what's coming up, upcoming mints, for
Yeah.
example. You can go. I mean, you can read about crypto in like different news channels like Cointelegraph,
Okay.
CoinDesk. Um, you can start. I guess they can also start watching some videos about what is crypto, what is a coin. That's the most basic things they can start, right? What is a token versus what is a coin? Uh,
Any
they
good
can.
YouTube channels that you follow that
Uh,
you can recommend?
I watch Guy a lot from
Okay.
what's his name? Guy. Well, I watch Elio Trades, so I really like watching Elio Trades. He talks a lot about NFTs.
Mm,
Guy from Coin Bureau. Coin Bureau is also
okay.
very interesting. Yeah, very
We'll put it on
informative.
the show notes. When we publish that, we'll put in the show notes, so you don't have to write anything down. But couple things Berwin talked about it. If people don't know the verbiage, they have no idea what it means. So essentially, when NFTs come to market, they usually are minted, and this is like the cheapest entry you can get into NFT. So they're doing a
Yeah.
drop, and then essentially go to a website, or you can do it through software,
Oh, yeah.
and
Sorry,
then
I
you mint.
remember now. I remember now this website that's really really good for NFTs. It's called Rarity.tools.
Yeah. So it shows
Yeah,
all the lots of upcoming NFTs for sure.
yeah,
I've been buying and selling NFTs for about 3-4 months, really heavily. I would really recommend people go to Twitter as well and start following some amazing people, because well, they will make you rich. And going to some groups, there are some, they call it alpha groups, where people are talking about things, and if you're really paying attention, you can actually make some money. But what I found, at least, I mean, I'm curious to know your opinion. There's so many things. There's like probably million NFTs coming up every day, and 99% of them will never get anywhere. But there's a 1% of them that will go to the moon. So, do you agree with that? Is that
yeah.
what you
It's
found wrong?
risky. It's risky. So anyone that goes into crypto has to tell himself that I'm willing to lose this money, because most of the time you can you can make a bad bet and lose it all. But if you make a good bet and you do your own research, you study about the project a lot and the team. Normally you look at the team, the project, you see if they're audited by a good auditor like Certic, and you can see if this project has longevity. And if it does, normally it's good to invest in it. And uh, normally it'll go hopefully it'll go up in price by a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes it still does not. Like, I seen some servers get hacked right before the time that they want to launch, or there is some teams are just taking money and running. So things happen here. It's a very wild west, but it's also a great opportunity. So yeah, I agree with you. If you have some money, you wanna try it out, and be really methodical, then I think it might work. What are some of the
Yeah,
rules that you are following not to get yourself in a position where you lose everything?
I don't put everything in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I only use the money I know I don't need for everyday living. I also go to some websites like Rug Doctor, the rug doctor, has a site where you can see, she basically certifies that this one's a good project, and you're likely not going to get rugged. Rug in the crypto space, this term means like scammed, I guess.
Yeah, like
And
pulling a rug. So
yeah, pulling
essentially,
around.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
when I promise you lots of things, but then when you buy in, they take all the money and run. There was a couple of them, couple big
There's
ones
a
that
there's a
yeah,
few naughty ones like that. Yeah.
yeah.
So also,
So
getting
yeah,
hacked, you have to be careful to understand that there are centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. So centralized exchanges always get hacked. Even Binance gets hacked. The biggest one last year, 2 months, 1.5 months ago, was Bitmart. They got hacked for $196 million. Yeah, centralized exchanges has a single point of failure because they're centralized, so there's one server. Decentralized exchanges like Sushi Swap, Uniswap, Pancake Swap, they're less prone to getting hacked.
yeah. So would it would it be fair to say that one of the best ways you can do when you put your money into Binance, then take this money and transfer to your own wallet so that you're not
Yeah, if you're not trading, yeah, that makes sense.
because I mean, what you're doing with Binance, you're going against the paradigm of being decentralized because it's like you're putting
Correct.
everything in the bank again and hoping that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bank will be secure. But that's the whole
yeah,
problem of banks. That's why we're struggling because
yeah. And
banks
they can
work.
shut you down. They shut you down for no reason. If they think yeah, if someone reports you or even just accuses you of something, they can shut you down. And with decentralized exchanges, and having your own wallet, I mean, then you're truly decentralized. It's non-custodian. So yeah, you have to be careful with the custodian accounts, like an exchange, or like a central bank, like Celsius. Celsius is, that's centralized, so they can shut you down anytime they want. But let's say Anchor Protocol, which it has the UST stablecoin, that's completely decentralized. So even USDT is centralized. So the government can shut that, can lock your funds, and you can't access it if they don't want. But UST, for example, US Terra, that one is completely decentralized. So the
Yeah.
governments can't get you.
Yeah, I was reading about Russia. They have this new legislation that they put people who they don't like in a terrorist list, and then you can like this guy was just like worker in a factory. He went into some demonstration, I guess, and then he's like, I'm trying to get my money from the bank, and they all locked. So all of his
Yeah,
money, all of
terrible.
his pension, he just locked. So this is what centralized system does whenever you're not whenever you did something that other people don't like up top, you
Yeah,
can easily get your money just get shut down. I mean,
yeah.
thankfully more developed economies it's rarer and then there will be more issues, but still can happen. So it's better to
Uh-huh.
keep having it on
Yeah,
your own wallet is like having like I don't know under the bed or something like that
yeah.
versus
You, yeah, yeah. You are literally your own bank. So yeah,
yeah.
you have your financial freedom. And the beauty of decentralization, and having not having to work with banks, is like on Sunday I need to do a transfer at 11 in the evening to my mom. I can just transfer anytime, and she gets the token or the coin like in a few seconds.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing is that getting it out of those tokens, or I guess you need to register. The hardest part is putting it in and taking it out because then they require a whole bunch of things like your IDs and stuff like that. I guess it makes sense because there's a lot of scam, but and also taxation. I think it's a big thing. Everybody wanna tax what you have, especially those people like yourself then releasing things and making lots of money on this. So how do you deal with I guess taxation on the blockchain? Like what's
I
your take
in
on
the
that?
on the blockchain, it's very hard to trace the person unless you you reveal yourself, right? You
Yeah.
disclose your wallet address. If not, it's really hard to find you. I mean, me, I pay tax because I have a business, but like, yeah, a lot of people don't need to don't need to do that if they're just completely decentralized.
The
But
only
yeah,
time
the
they need to
government,
do it when they withdraw the money.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that's why there are all those whales out there having like, I know one guy I follow. He has $100 million worth of Ethereum, but he's not really interested into taking it out because as soon as he takes it out,
yeah,
there'll be like huge taxation
yeah.
taxation issues.
That's
So
true.
yeah,
It-
so
It's it's getting easier to spend your crypto in many things these days. Like, I purchased my plane tickets with crypto in Travala, and I booked my hotel rooms in Travala. And you can
oh
pay with
wow,
yeah, you can pay with many kinds of crypto. You can pay in Ethereum, in Bitcoin, in USDT, and whatever. They I think they take over 20 different kinds of coins. And
beautiful.
there's also shopping. You can shop online now with crypto. There's shopping.io, so it's like
Yeah,
Amazon. So you can buy in
wow.
Amazon but pay in crypto, yeah, through shopping.io. And there's more
Yes.
and more use cases for it to pay crypto.
And I'm sure this year there'll be like, it will be so many because there are so many people who are like, I met this guy, he's 18 years old and he has like $20 million because he bought some coin and then it just went up. I think he bought like Shiba or something really early, and
Wow.
then he's like, well, I don't really know. So I don't want to tell anyone. I mean, and I don't want to tell many people. I guess I'm not saying who he is, but there is a
Yeah,
person like
yeah.
that that I know. And for people like that, will be interesting how government will see they fly like business class or like private jet, but then they're like just students or something like that.
Yeah, that's
This
crazy.
every or he'll
I
buy like bunch of things in shop.io or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but if governments actually smarten up, I don't say they're stupid, but if they kind of like understand this crypto, they can actually not take taxes anymore. They don't need to tax people because, crypto, for example, the coin, you can stake it. So if you stake these coins, the government is earning staking rewards, and they can use that to build roads, hospitals, schools. They don't need to tax people. I think Miami is trying to do that with Miami Coin.
Yeah. The problem with governments is that they are big bureaucracies. So it's like working in a big company. You're like, I really want to make a change. And then they like, well, I need to talk to this guy and then to that guy. And that guy needs to talk to that guy. And the guy
Yeah,
on top, he's like, I don't really care about any of this. I'm just here to retire. And you get into this problem. So
yeah,
I think that makes sense, and I think more agile economies are moving. I think Singapore and economies like that, they're more agile and they're thinking in those terms. Some U.S. states are thinking in that terms, but
hmm
bigger federal governments, I think it'll take years and years, even though
it's
it's
gonna
very
take a
lucrative.
while.
I think what
Well,
they
that's why.
go
Yeah,
for it.
I think that's why there's a lot of DAOs forming these days, decentralized autonomous organizations, because people are like creating their own micronations within the blockchain to
Yeah.
do things. In a way, Ekta is like that. We are our own ecosystem. That's why me and my partners, we created our own blockchain so that we have more autonomy and control of our future. And I'm building an ecosystem this way so that it'll make it easier for people to get funding, purchase a home, pay for their education, get a retirement fund, have health insurance, things like that. So yeah, so I guess
So let,
the private people are putting it in their own hands now and creating
yeah.
their own utopia.
So let's say somebody's listening or watching us. If you guys have any questions, actually, let's take a question because it's related to ECTA. Uh, This is Chris says, is Ekta going to launch on more exchanges?
Yep, we
Yeah,
are.
the answer is yeah.
And yeah, we are very soon, in just a matter of days, or
Here's the
or
scoop.
one
So
week. Yeah.
Should probably buy some tokens because
Yeah.
going up, it's going to the moon.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing this year. And also our first NFT launch and mint is on February 21. To mint these NFTs, you actually need to purchase Ekta. You can purchase Ekta with a credit card or swap it with another token. And so this is our first use case, public use case of our utility. Because right now, privately, there's a lot of people and companies building on our chain, but it's not open for the public. The only use case for utility for our token is the network fees. But this one, you get to see that you're going to use Ekta now to mint tokens. There's going to be an economy, a closed loop economy for this.
Beautiful.
And then when we have our games as well, you need Ekta to play our games. So yeah.
I'm part of bunch of play to earn games, and man, I'm getting so addicted. The thing with them, it's like I was in one where I was literally making like $1,000 a day, and I was like, "What else?" I mean,
Wow.
it went up, and I was like, "What the hell is happening?" And then, of course, it went down because a lot of people figured that out. But for a day or two, I was like telling my wife, I don't need to work anymore. I'm making $1,000 a day, and I was like, "Woof!" And then it went to zero. But for a couple of days, I was like the happiest person. It paid off for what I invested. I think I invested like
Uh,
one ETH, and then I was like just making money, and I'm like, "Wow, this is the best passive income." I did nothing. Okay, Chris is asking more questions. Chris, what are you saying? I can't find any option to buy with credit or debit card.
that's on
Um,
February 21. On
February
February
21.
21, you can. But also, when we list in the centralized exchange in a couple days or weeks, you can purchase with credit card there on the exchange.
So yeah, I guess there's a question there that I hear. Let's say somebody's listening to us and they're excited about the opportunity to get in. I hope your token will go up after this interview because people are listening.
uh,
So for
if it does,
somebody,
I'm gonna give you a big hug and big kiss.
I'm okay with that. Um, yeah, fantastic news. See, I'm already see I'm buying more. Chris is buying more. Okay, well, they're
Thank you,
working.
Chris. You the man, Chris.
Yeah. We're like a teleshop, you know how they were like selling something and people were like, "Oh, I'm buying in." That's great. I mean, happy to hear that. So I guess let's explain it. We're friends. So I'm happy to spend more time on Ekta and see that if more people get in and get rich from my podcast, I'll be the happiest person. So I'm always up for people making money. So for somebody like myself, let's say I have some Ethereum and I want to make some money, and let's say Ekta is something I really want to go for.
Mhm.
um what do I do? Like, what's my next step right now to get in early? Let's say today. What
I
would I do?
mean, before we list in the centralized exchange, the only way to purchase Ekta is through Sushi Swap. So if you
Okay.
go to our website, ekta.io. There's like tutorials there on how to buy. Our contract address is there, and you can purchase Ekta in Sushi Swap. Just yeah, it's quite um, painless. There's
Yeah.
all the tools and tutorials there. Um, Also, one great thing if you purchase Ekta now, our 12-month staking pool. We have a 1, 3, 6, 9, and 12-month staking pools. Our 12-month staking pool has 150% APR. So
Oof.
after 12 months, if you put in 100,000 in 12 months, you will have 250,000. So that's not so bad. You won't get that in the bank.
No, that's very good.
Yeah.
And so what's your, I guess let's talk about the roadmap, because one of the things you guys, I'm just guiding us through how you look at projects. So the first question usually people should ask, what's the roadmap, right? What are you
Yeah.
getting with it? Like, what are you going to do? I guess you're in centralized exchanges in a week or so. What's next? Like, what's your roadmap?
We have our biggest NFT launch of the year with the US veterans on February 21. We have other NFT mints because we're launching our NFT marketplace on February 21 as well. So we're going to have a fractional property NFT mint in the end of Q1, beginning of Q2. We will have the fractional VC NFT tokens, where you can invest in upcoming unicorns, potential unicorns, for a fraction of the cost. We have an amazing blockchain lottery launching soon as well, beginning of Q2 this year. So these lottery NFTs are amazing because, you know, when you buy a ticket for a lottery, you just have a ticket and then you wait for the jackpot. Or if you buy a subscription, you just check every week for a jackpot.
Yeah.
But that ticket is not earning you any money. These lottery NFTs are really cool because you can stake them and earn passive income while waiting for the jackpot. And
So
it goes to improving people's lives as well, because it goes to our foundations that we sponsor. What
and for
else is in the
people,
roadmap? Mhm.
sorry, I'm just doing a quick, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
But what people, when you say staking, for people who don't understand, is essentially you take, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just saying, like, I stake tokens. That's what I understand. You can exchange your tokens anytime, but if you really want to earn some rewards, you park them a little bit, maybe for 3 months or for a week or for a
yeah,
day, and then you're getting a percentage because you are the one who is keeping it and not selling. So in return for
yes,
you giving a time, uh, sort of, for not selling it, you're getting
yeah,
back rewards. I mean, it's a
yeah,
weird way to
yeah.
explain it.
It's like a term deposit, right? When you do a
Yeah,
time deposit in the bank, you get, when you put $100, you get 0.1% probably. So at least with us, you get 150%. And also, you know, if you hold on for a year, for sure, our token price will be a lot higher than it is today, with our roadmap coming up. So apart from the other things I mentioned, we have a hybrid exchange that we're launching. It's called HyBex. We're gonna do an initial DEX offering for that in around April or May this year. We have an amazing MetaTrees game. It's part of the Ekta metaverse, Ektaverse. So MetaTrees is basically, we call it Meta, which is metamorphosis of trees. So basically, it's a NFT based DeFi tree planting game. So we're gonna launch this soon. So we'll release a whitelist soon, hopefully end of March. And this is basically what you get. You just don't get a token or an NFT. You get a pack, because you need this pack to play a game. So you'll get an NFT, a land NFT, a seed NFT, and some tree tokens, and then you can start planting the seed into your land and then growing the tree. So there's going to be other, you know, NFT boosters there, like water, oxygen NFTs, and that will, you know, boost you know, so you can level up and make the tree grow faster. Some of those NFTs will have embedded carbon offsets, so they're tied to an asset, which is a VCU, a verified carbon unit. So you're actually playing and holding and purchasing NFTs that are asset backed. So the land NFT is backed by real land. So by buying this land NFT, you also have real land. And when you plant the seed on that NFT, you're actually planting on that real land as well and growing a tree. So you end up owning a land asset, you're owning a tree asset, because trees yield crops and fruits. And then later on, you can also earn tree tokens and, cash it out, swap it for Ekta, swap it for a stable coin. Yeah, it's great. So that's
beautiful.
really, really exciting.
And
We're
for
also
people,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm keep on interjecting just because just
Go
pointing
on.
out things for people who are who might be not be following. All those tokens, they sound like, okay, there's like some woo-woo thing, because token of tree, token of land. This is something that you can exchange to Ethereum, and then you can exchange to real dollars. So you're actually supporting nature, playing games and making money, which
Yeah.
is the craziest thing about all of this. But that's how it is. So I'm just pointing
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this blockchain. You can do that. You can't do that before. The metaverse as well. Imagine you're doing something virtually, but it's happening in the real world. It's kind of rare to see that. I don't think there's anything out there like that yet. So I'm trying to create things that are new and unique with real world use cases. We also invested in another metaverse. They're launching soon as well, and we are actually gonna do cross metaverse, so we can cross each other's metaverse, play games in each other's metaverse, buy land and plant trees in each other's metaverse, and then our NFTs can swap as well between metaverse. So I think it's going to be really amazing this year. It's exciting.
Beautiful. And how, I guess I just, okay, I can't speak. I talked to a guy we know, Robert Epstein. He's amazing. He's amazing charity guy. He owns Solomon, and I was like, I know this guy called Berwin. He's like, I know Berwin as well. His mind is crazy. He creates all those amazing entrepreneurial opportunities. I can't follow any of this, and I'm like, I feel the same way. This is one guy who sees so far ahead of anyone else and creating all those amazing things. So just stepping away from all of this, how's your mind works? Like, how do you find those opportunities? And yeah, I mean, I think how you think about it is like 10 years ahead of everyone else. So I'm just trying to get like, where does it come from?
Uh, I just, I like I said earlier, I guess I see a problem that I want to fix, and then I find the solution, and then I can implement it and show people that this is the solution, and they can pay for it. And then most of the funds, of course, goes into our other developments. But at the same time, we have a foundation, so we really like Robert. We sponsor Robert's charity. We've done some donations to them. We feel that we want to do business while doing good. So yeah, like there's so many problems around the world, like like the trees, right? I realize that there's a lot of places with deforestation, and since I'm a property developer, I have a lot of property as well with no trees. I'm like, maybe I should plant more trees here because this is a problem. Look
Yeah.
at this. So I was sitting down the other day looking at I was in a jewelry store, and I was like, man, these diamonds are expensive. These gold rings are expensive. This is like a commodity that's so damn expensive, but there's no real use for it. You can't eat it. You can't, if you have it and there's no food, you'll die. So I thought to myself, wow, oxygen is a commodity, and water is a commodity, and if we don't have them, we'll die, and we don't value them. So I'm like,
Yeah.
why maybe I should make people understand that actually water and air that we breathe, clean water and clean air, is more important than diamonds. Although don't say that to my
Yeah.
girlfriend. But so I thought, maybe I should reward people for planting trees, and making the environment cleaner and more livable for people. So yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, yeah, I just want people to value things that are actually that keeps you alive. So
Yeah.
that's how I thought about that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And
Yeah.
about the diamonds, I read somewhere, I might be wrong on this, it might be fake news, but I think it's true that price of diamonds are artificially inflated because there's one company that holds all those diamonds and they don't want to release them to the market just because they don't want price of diamonds to be down. So if you're paying a lot for diamonds, it's pretty weird because you're just paying for artificially inflated prices. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess yeah, it could be that. But yeah, it's just so strange, right? Like, we throw things in the river and then pollute the river, and then people use it to drink. And I mean, it's just like, I just want people to be more conscious about it. And I think gamification of things like this makes people realize, makes it fun as well, and makes them realize that, oh yeah, I can, and also they get rewarded by doing that, right? So
And I think what blockchain and NFTs allow you to do is to reward en masse. I think
mhm.
before it would be just like one person comes and they get some reward, but here you can virtually reward thousands of people by
Yeah,
by by just having a token. So I think that's a big shift that we can all do
yeah,
good and then we can get rewarded, make real money.
yeah.
But I I wonder why not many people think that way because most of the project that I see this is just nothing. It's just like we have this picture, pretty picture, and that's it. And then,
Yeah.
well, yeah. What
I
do you think
think
so?
that was a couple years ago. I think it's shifting. The problem is a lot of people are greedy and they just want to make a quick buck. And Ekta and myself, our vision is not that. So we want to build things and make things a better place. And you don't, become an instant millionaire overnight. You have to work for this, and you have to do things, and it needs to grow just like a tree, or just like a good wine. It takes time. But if you do it right, then you're gonna have a great yield
For
eventually
sure.
in the future.
Yeah, and I think yeah, a lot of what I see is scarcity mentality, which if people are listening, I really advise you not to do that. Like I would go into some project that has they like say one of them, the team already delivered so many things, and now they're launching this new thing, and then it's exciting, people buy in, and then let's say price drops for a day. People will get like crazy. That one day the price dropped. They don't care that it's amazing game, that they're making money, that they're having fun. There's amazing community. They just care about, I don't know, it's like it
Yeah.
dropped $20. And I'm like, you're crazy. You're, let's say, making I don't know, not $1,000, but let's say $300 a day. You are probably a student. You're probably making zero, and now you're making lots of money.
Yeah.
And for some reason, you're always complaining. I think this is
Yeah.
the attitude we
We
need to
should,
remove.
yeah, we should be happy with what we have. And like me, I don't like having too many things. So if you look in my closet wardrobe, I can move to another house with two suitcases. I've been driving the same car for 9 years, almost 10 years. I don't see myself buying a new one, because then there's more cars on the road, which will lead to more pollution. And it's just like, yeah, I'm just happy with just be happy with what you have. And of course, it's nice to be rich and to be comfortable. It gives you more options and choices, right? So you can travel more, you can purchase a better quality food and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why Ekta likes to give back, and we really want to do profits with purpose, because then you wake up in the morning and you're like, wow, I did this social impact today. It's more impactful in your life. And yeah, if you get too greedy, it's not a nice feeling. People look at you like, wow, what happened to this monster?
Yeah.
You don't see it yourself, but yeah.
I guess people just see social media, I guess, amplifies everything in a bad way. Because you open like Instagram, which I don't recommend doing. Actually, I'm not on Instagram, and I don't recommend people doing it for your mental health, because you always see amazing people that are
Yeah.
driving some weird cars, and which probably are not theirs, or living some weird lifestyle. But trust me, many of them are depressed or sad because they're not doing anything
Yeah.
good with their life.
Yeah.
They're just taking pictures for you to see. That's how they make money, which is the weirdest thing in the
Yeah.
world. So
Yeah,
for
that's
people like
true.
you who are making an impact and just doing good for the world, and I know that you're part of similar charities that I support as well, like Plastic Exchange and
Yeah.
Robert's charity. I think that what matters. At the end of the day,
That's how I met you. I met you
yeah,
in a plastic exchange, remember?
yeah. Shout out to Janur Yasa.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't heard
He's
about Plastic Exchange, you should check out one of my episodes with him. And he's CNN hero now. He's a very popular guy,
yeah.
and
He's
he's simply amazing.
great.
So, do you
Yeah.
think we can gamify Plastic Exchange as well? Is that somewhere
Yeah,
you
you
think to
can,
go?
you can. I'm actually helping another startup trying to gamify this to basically, it's about cleaning up the planet and lessening your carbon footprint. So I can't mention names yet, but this person's trying to create this game, and Ekta is helping them. So we like to help entrepreneurs that have like ideas like that, helping people and helping the planet.
Amazing.
So it involves plastic exchange in a way.
Yeah. Okay, somebody's sending me a message. I don't see your name, but I'll read a question. Um, just a second. It's scrolling fast. Um, how do you, essentially paraphrasing because it's a long question, but it goes about what do you look at in a team when you're deciding to invest in a project? So what are some of the red
Uh,
flags and green flags, I guess?
yeah, so first of all, they need to be sincere. Like I can really tell when someone's not sincere about their project. And first of all, they need to believe in their project. They need to be passionate about it. They, of course, it's a business, so it it needs to make money, but it for me that's not shouldn't be the sole purpose of it. There should be some kind of use case application where it can help, something. I look at as well like the maturity of the team, because an emotional team can damage the business. So yeah, you have to see that as well, and then you have to see if they have logic, like if it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I look at.
I mean, what I do, maybe it's helpful for this person or somebody else. I go to their Discord and I just ask question to people. What do you guys like about this project? And if people, all of them, tell me, I just like the art, I would be like, "Mm." I mean, creating an art. I mean, as long. I mean, if it's a Beeple, which is like that's a huge, huge guy in the community, or somebody amazing artist, if it's Van Gogh or whatever, that's great. But if you're just looking at pixelated art and somebody's saying that the only thing that this project is good with is art, I would be very careful because there are literally millions of projects with the art, and it needs to be something very, very special. So
Yeah,
that would be. Do you agree with that?
I agree. Yeah, that's a very smart move. Go to your Discord. You check the back, do background checks as well.
Yeah. And sometimes I ask if this team has experience with NFTs, and some people don't, but I don't think it's a big problem because NFTs are here for like 2 years. So having a big experience with NFT, somebody was like, I haven't, I read like LinkedIn or something. I have very deep experience in NFTs. I'm like, dude, it's like 2 years old. How deep can you go in 2 years? Like, so
Yeah,
expecting that people are like spend all their lives doing NFTs would be weird. But if somebody
yeah,
launched something before, there's a big chance that they already have some following, and it will be the other project will be more successful. Is a really, really good
yeah.
sign.
The project will also be very successful. Well, NFTs is the easiest way to get into blockchain to get a project, because all you need is basically the key to it is your community. If you have a big following and a big community that loves you and believes in you and believes in the project, they're the people that will actually purchase your NFT, and that's where you sell out. So that's quite important. It's the community really that builds it.
Yeah. So essentially, what I see this as like angel investing. You go there and you do what angel investors do. You're not afraid to lose all your money. You probably will. I'll be honest. If you invest money, you probably lose it all. But if you're very careful, if you follow some rules, and if you research a lot, which you don't have time for, so make sure you can research fast. Sometimes they're like, okay, usually projects these days, they are launching like their mint event is like in a week after they launched, or like after they appeared, or maybe in a month or so, which also not the best sign, but that what happens. So you really need to research fast and make sure that you are protecting yourself and not putting, as
Yeah,
you said, all your money into one project, because you're probably
yeah.
going to lose it all anyway. Amazing. So the one thing I have on the podcast, I usually call rapid fire questions. I ask same questions to entrepreneurs to get their opinions on things. And
Uh-huh.
usually it's e-commerce related, but we're gonna do crypto related this time. So I'm gonna change some of them. Some of them are pretty generic. What do you think were some of your biggest failures so far, and what did you learn from them? It can be in
Oh,
crypto, or it can be in
I
anything.
I started this fast food business when I was living in China, because I saw in the streets there's a lot of street vendors that were doing these soups where you have sticks in the soup and noodles, And I was like, wow, this is quite fun. Maybe I should repackage it and make it into a fast food and, do home delivery. It failed because if you put noodles and things in the soup and deliver it, takes half an hour to deliver it. The noodles are mushy already, and the meatballs or the fish balls are already like soggy. So that failed. But I learned my lesson. Always try to have a a logic behind what you're doing, and not think that just because China has a billion population, if I do a chain of fast foods, it'll work. But I chose the wrong product. Maybe a burger would have been better.
Amazing. The other question I have, let's say you just had $5,000 in your bank. You did not have your partners. You just had only your knowledge, and then you didn't have anything else. So knowing what you know, and you want to make a living, you want to be successful, and start with $1,000, scaled up to, let's say, 10 million or something really big. What would your strategy be?
I would create a business plan. I would, like I said, I would find a problem and then create a solution for it, put it down in writing, create an investor deck, have an amazing financial projection, and then I would approach my network of investors that have money and say, this is my idea, this is my plan, this is my financial projection, and this is how it's gonna solve, whatever problem it can solve. And I said this before in my past interview, if you want to be a millionaire, even though if you have $5,000 in your wallet, you just solve a problem for 1 million people and you become a millionaire. If you want to be a billionaire, you solve a problem for 1 billion people, your $5,000 will become 1 billion.
Yeah, it's all about finding what people really need and really want. Because most of the solution is just repurposed, same thing. There is no unique ideas, but there are lots of opportunities around it. I mean, it doesn't have to be unique idea. If you're shooting for 1 million, for 1 billion, you probably need something more thought out. But yeah, I'm with you 100%. Guys who are watching, you can ask questions. I'll ask them as well. There's again Chris here, so I'll intermix questions from the audience as well to make sure we bring them value. How to stake Ekta coin? Can you guide, please?
Yes. So on our website, there's a button there that says staking. So if you click on that, it will lead you to a staking page called staking.ekta.io. And basically, you need to connect your wallet when you are on that staking dApp. And once your wallet is connected, you have to you'll have options to stake. It'll show you 1, 3, 6, 9, and 12 month staking pool. So because so we have our own chain, but when we were building our chain, we used Binance Smart Chain to build this staking pool. So you need to make sure that your wallet network is on Binance Smart Chain, and make sure you have some BNB, like 0.003 BNB, to be able to stake. So, and also there's a tutorial there in resources. So in our website, under resources, if you drop down the resource page, it'll show you how to claim and stake tutorial.
Amazing. How much? I guess that's a weird question. What is the minimum investment to buy an Ekta coin?
Whatever, $1. You can do $1, $2, a few cents. There's no minimum.
What do you think is reasonable? I guess for somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, but they want to be part of this. Like how much?
I mean, there are people that invest as low as $100 to $1,000 to start out. To tell you honestly, our price is very cheap at the moment. We are extremely undervalued because our market cap is only $5 million. Our total value locked, which means people staking our coin right now, is about 30 million. So the price should be 6 times higher than it is today. So, apart from that, with our roadmap and our ecosystem, by the end of the year, I mean, right now it's in 40 something cents or 50 cents. I don't think it'll be, I mean, $5 million market cap good projects can hit $1 billion market cap easily. So what's that? You do the math, right? So
So
yeah, I think it's a really good investment because you have a good team. You have me. We always deliver. We had some problems before in the past, but I always came out in the AMA and I said I'm gonna fix it, and we fix it. So our community trusts us, and if you go to our Telegram, there not a lot of people. There's always people just talking about nice things, and they're very supportive. So it's a good project to be in, and a good community to join.
yeah,
We
it
help each other out.
seem like very undervalued. I'm gonna check it out. I was planning to check it out, but now since after talking to you and listening all those numbers, they sound very promising. So probably you're gonna find another investor in me there. Uh, okay. So if you guys have any more questions, I'm gonna going with my own questions. But if you guys have any more, please put them. I'll try to ask as many as I can. There's a lot of them. Why are you wearing a Superman T-shirt? Okay, I don't know what you're asking, but uh, it's a great question. So I'm not a big fan of Superman, but my 2-year-old is, and he bought me and himself same T-shirts and said, "Daddy,
Oh,
today you're wearing a Superman T-shirt." So it is because
oh.
I'm a dad. uh, cheers to all Actons. Okay, so there's a support right there. I see.
Thank you,
I see.
Chris.
I see a strong community right there. Amazing. So I'm going to continue with my questions. So let's say, what are some of the routines that help you to get focused and keep you motivated to work on this? What do you do, like in the morning, in the evening, anything you want to
Yeah,
share?
I work a lot, so I work from 8 in the morning till 1 in the morning because I'm building a massive ecosystem. To stay in shape and stay focused, I make sure in the morning I always exercise or meditate a bit. So I'd go for a swim or a run, and then I'd order this is my routine. I'd order an acai bowl, acai
Nice.
smoothie bowl, and a green juice to start. And I start my work, and then middle of the day, I have a healthy lunch like a salad or something with not a lot of carbs, so I don't get sleepy. And then I sometimes I try to take a mini nap, like a mini 15-20 minute power nap, just to get fresh again for the afternoon. And then sunset time, I try to not work for about half an hour so I can watch the sunset or just like outside the park or on the beach. And then I have a healthy dinner again, and then I take a shower, and then I go work again till 1 in the morning, and then I sleep. Yeah, I always sleep well because I'm so tired after.
Crazy schedule, but I mean, you're building something amazing. So I think that says a lot. So yeah, the fact that you're so busy and keep on delivering to your community is amazing. So the other question is, that's actually an interesting one. How did your life change when you started making ton of money? How your quality of life changed? I think you talked about that you don't have like a fancy car and stuff, but in general, how your quality of life changed from the time when you were just starting out to when you started making lots of money?
um, I was able to travel more, which was great. I was able to actually I helped my parents a lot, so I bought them a house, and I paid for my brother's school I paid him through college. I basically can choose to eat better quality food, so I stay away from the fast foods and try to stay fit and healthy. I'm not getting any younger, so I'm 46 this year, so I need to try to make sure that I exercise, go to the gym, do my health checkups, yeah, order, get not so oily foods. And uh yeah, apart from that, my quality of life, I guess I could say I have more time for myself when I want to. So I'm busy working now, but when I'm not working, I just say, oh, I go travel now, and then I travel, or I go stay in a nice hotel or something, mini vacation.
Freedom, which is, I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually like this philosophy a lot that you spend your money on what's important, not just wasting it on liabilities. Like if you buy like a fancy car, then you have to maintain it, then you pollute and stuff like that. Instead, you just, especially essentially, uh, getting freedom with your money and supporting people who are around you, which is really cool. David Z, let's ask your question. You guys mentioned February 21 for the NFT marketplace launch. Do you have other milestones with set days coming up?
Yeah, so Feb 21, actually, whoever's listening, if you want to whitelist, the website is called have-nft.com, HAVE-NFT.com. So that's really, really interesting. So check out the website, join the Discord, you can whitelist. After that, we are launching our fractional property NFT. It's called Ekta Real Estate. It was called Petals before, but I think we're rebranding it to Ekta Real Estate. So we're launching with our first partners from Fin Lifestyle Village here in Bali. So we're fractionalizing their sky villas for them at the end of March. Hybrid exchange, which is amazing. This is going to be like a DEX, like Sushi Swap, but one thing we'll have is we'll have a feature that a lot of decks don't have is order books. So we'll have order books, and we'll have a lot of DeFi and staking pools there and farming. So you can get a lot of 100% yields from farming and liquidity pairing there. So that's going to be amazing. And then of course our MVP for MetaTrees will be also in April. So that's something to look forward to, because this one is NFT-based DeFi game that actually goes to planting real trees in the real world and having asset-backed NFTs like carbon credits and land.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hopefully it answers your question. I'm excited. I'm getting pumped just by listening to this. I'm gonna go back to my question, but then you guys feel free to ask a couple more questions. We're gonna take maybe one or two. So, what were some of the beliefs that they used to have? Maybe a year ago, maybe yesterday. You can take it any way you want. Some of the beliefs that you used to hold that you don't hold anymore.
Oh, yeah, I used to believe that things last forever. So I was always a strong believer of like not loyalty, but like things lasting forever. But yeah, nothing lasts forever. It's like even the pandemic, like I used to believe that if you work hard, you can get to where you are. But actually, you have to work smart, not just hard. And yeah, so yeah, that's changed a lot.
Beautiful. On that note, actually, the next question is: which book or books have influenced you the most? If you're a book reader, some people are not. I'm a big book nerd, so that's why I'm always curious to know if you have any recommendations. So, any books you want to share?
It's a bit boring, but I read the life story of Warren Buffett,
Yeah, that's a
and
beautiful
also
book.
the life story of the founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc.
Ray Kroc.
And
Yeah,
so yeah, Ray Kroc, and yeah, those books were good. I like Harry Potter. I read Harry Potter a lot.
that's
So yeah.
those great books. So I'll put them in the show notes. You guys can check it out, so you don't have to write it down. What are some of your favorite? I think I asked that before, but let me ask you again. Maybe you'll refresh your memory and get some more info. Some of your favorite podcasts on crypto, on NFTs, maybe some YouTube channels, maybe somebody to follow. Anything you want to share for people to get some scoop on what's happening?
Yeah, because I like to I grew up trading stocks. So I study, I read about the Elliott wave, Japanese candlesticks, like trading patterns. So I go to Crown Trades. He's partnered with Elliott Trades, and he's a technical analyst. So I like to watch his charts because it really interests me. I really like Elliott Trades a lot because he talks a lot about gaming, NFT, and metaverse, and that really interests me a lot. Funny enough, I watch Satoshi Stacker a lot. Because I like watching charts, and he
Yeah.
just talks about mainly Bitcoin a lot. But I don't really invest in Bitcoin, but I like watching him because Bitcoin basically moves the market. If the Bitcoin goes up by 5%, the altcoins will move up 40%, for example. If it goes down 5%, altcoins will go down 40%. So I
Yeah.
just think that it's really interesting to watch Satoshi Stacker. And then, of course, Guy from Coin Bureau, I really like. He always has these 18 to 22-minute videos that are very informative. He talks about everything from what is a CBDC. CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency, or what is a stable coin, or he talks about different protocols. What is Harmony? What is Cardano? What is Solana? Things like that. So it's just really interesting to get information from them. So I actually don't have any podcasts. I'm actually not used to podcasts. I just watch YouTube, and
Cool.
yeah. So
Cool.
these are the yeah.
Yeah. The one guy that I follow that might be useful for people, Alex Becker. He's NFT guy. I would recommend you guys think he has some good approaches. He has his own style, which if you like style, if you don't like that kind of style, some sarcasm and humor, then you might
Yeah.
not like the guy. But I think the content it's there. So I would
Yeah, I agree. I like him a lot too. I watch Alex Becker too. He's great. He's
he's an
very
amazing guy.
sarcastic. I love it.
Yes,
It's very
yes,
dry.
yes.
He makes me laugh so much.
Exactly. David Z, let's read that. Exciting milestones coming up. I like Berwin's wipe. You got +1 supporter. See your gig
Thanks,
supporter.
David.
Just by eye
Thanks,
talking.
David.
Thanks. Amazing. Cool. So I usually ask people to give me an advice on e-commerce business, but since we are not talking about e-commerce, let's say let's give advice for people who are starting out getting into crypto. Not financial advice. Do your own research. We are not financial advisors by any means, but for somebody who is starting out, they're like, I want to make a little bit of money and start to make some passive income. Let's say give me an advice. Let's say I want to do that. Why not? What would you say?
Uh, I would look at DeFi protocols, and because trading can be very daunting. You can lose your money very fast. So I would like go to DeFi protocols and see if you can do some staking or some farming. So you can do some farming in, let's say, Sushi Swap or Pancake Swap, and you can look for some pairs there that are good. Like you can even just do two stablecoin pairs and get 15 to 25% return, or you can pair it with another token that's like maybe BNB and Cake, for example. You can yield 70 to 90% there. Yeah, so I prefer doing that than trading because I don't have time to trade. So I just like to
Yeah.
just buy something and leave it there for a few months or a year.
Yeah. And usually that people make lots of money that way. Like I keep on hearing people just like killing it. They're making passive income because some of those the returns are just, as you're saying, crazy. If you go to a bank, I mean it's more bank is much more stable. Sometimes I wouldn't say like economies are weird, and
Yeah.
lots of people are losing their investments there as well. But banks will
Yeah.
give you on your savings account. Banks will give you 2%, maybe 3%. And if you're putting a lot of money in your savings account, sometimes you cannot take it out either. So you might go to the bank and say, "Oh, I want to withdraw my money." They'll say, "Sorry, you
Yeah,
have to wait." So
exactly.
so so
Yeah.
so it is the same thing, but much less riskier than this. That being said, the DeFi allows you to start making some passive income very very fast. Cool.
Hmm.
Love it. So I don't think we have any more questions. For people who want to follow you and learn about Ekta more. So maybe let's repeat all of those. How can people find you and how can people find Ekta before we go?
Yeah, so it's the easiest way is to go to ekta.io, ekta.io. And then there's useful resources and information there, our white papers there. There's also icons to our social media channels like Twitter and Telegram. So if you follow us on Twitter and Telegram, you get the most updated news coming from us.
Amazing. Well, you guys should definitely watch that, and you just got some very insightful information of you can buy something that is undervalued. It's not financial advice, but I would say that this is a very cool. So thank you for your time, and I wish you best of luck. I think we'll do it again and just give some updates on where you are heading, maybe in like 6 months or so, because I'm very bullish on Ekta. I think you guys are doing amazing things. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you so much. Thank you for having me. This was really fun. Definitely,
Yeah.
we must do this again.
Yeah. And for everyone viewing, listening, whatever you're doing, 10 million journey, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, follow us, and I'll do more of those NFT and crypto from now on because I think people are into that. So you guys will get some more scoop on what's happening. I'm going to be investing my time and effort into interviewing amazing people from all of crypto. Bye.
Bye.